Good morning. Hey, you guys. So it's, I think it's the 11th of, 11th of July, and I get to read this morning from our little book, the 24-hour day book. And hi, Kathy Lynn. Um, what came up for me this morning, from my own personal experience and observing others, is how um, a couple of things happen. I see that, you know, that we say um, that we want to change. We'd like to see different results in our life, or we'd like to change in some way, and yet um, we sometimes we'd say desperately, like, "Oh my gosh, I really want to change. I'll do anything," and then we hang on to our old ways. We fear holds us in an old place, and so the the focus just without thinking about it needs to be on letting go. And and how do we let go? Well, there's a number of ways of doing that, and I wanted to share that a bit this morning. How do I let go? How do I become free and free in the moment, free in how do I taste freedom and how do I get to stay there, and it seems for some of us it's more, you know, difficult, if you will, than others, and because we have a story that we like about ourselves, and so we in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, it says that half measures avail us nothing. Half measures avail us nothing. It really specifically says that you know we don't get the results. We don't get half the results, kind of thing, with half of the effort. We generally uh, end up going back to our old lives in a way. Not that we can go back, but we continue to get the results we were getting if we don't aren't willing to really surrender, and I watch the people around me sometimes, and um, holding on to their own stories. I am this, I am that, or judging others because, um, you know, we're all still in a process of awakening, in a process of surrendering, and none of us are, we're all doing it perfectly, although it's there's still work to do. So, how do we get there? There's a beautiful prayer in the 12 step, in the big book, called the third step prayer. It's just, it's so that that prayer is such a simple offering, just a simple offering, and it goes like this. And it's a prayer I say myself. I say every day, and it's, God, I offer myself to Thee, to build with me and do with me as Thou wilt. So it's a complete surrender. Take away my difficulties, so that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help of Thy power, Thy love, and Thy way of life. May I do Thy will always. It's really a surrender prayer. It's beautiful, and you know, everything though is so that we can give it away. The new life that we live, it becomes a life of service. Period. It becomes a life of service. And the old life was a life of how can I get more, in a way? How can I? And so we surrender that old life of trying to get more, or living in fear of losing something, to a life of service. And it doesn't really matter what we have. This is who we become, who we are, is living in service and looking for ways to serve and carry the message of love. So that's, the kind of the results of it often is that we're in a whole new way of living. So that's it. Fear though, watch fear, because it can keep us. So just pray to move past that, and pray for the willingness to move past that, and half measures. Remember, doesn't get us there, but everybody can have this. Everybody. So, and there's nothing really mystical about it. It's a practical. In our 12 steps, it's a practical program of action that gives us the results of freedom and a life of service. So I'm going to read our little thing this morning, and thanks for listening. So July the 11th, it is. So this book was written in 1954. It's got a bit of old language in it, but I like it, and I enjoy reading it. There's some nuggets in there. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's like life. In the people we have in our life, we take them as they are. It's so easy to see their flaws, and then maybe drop them or judge them. How do we be compassionate and love people exactly where they are, and ourselves? Okay. We, it says in Alcoholics Anonymous, do not try to chart the path for the human soul, or to try to lay out a blueprint for the workings of faith, as one might plan a charity drive. We do tell the newcomer that we have renewed our faith in a higher power. Yeah. In telling him our faith is further renewed. Isn't that great? We give it away and it grows. We believe that faith is always close at hand, waiting for those who will listen to the heartbeat of her spirit, of the spirit. We believe there is a force for good in the universe, and that if we link up with this force, we are carried onward to a new life. Am I in the stream? It says, it was always a question after the thought for the day. Am I in this stream of goodness? And that's just exactly what I was talking about. It's beautiful. We surrender to live in a new life of service and love. Meditation for the day. God will protect you from the forces of evil if you will rely on him. For me, I believe the forces of evil are really a concept for my own thinking, my fear thinking, and for my own thinking. I don't see, it's a concept in my mind. So I'll start that over again. God will protect you from the forces of evil if you rely on him. You can face all things through the power of God, which strengthens you. Once God has set on you his stamp and seal of ownership, all his strengths will serve and protect you. Remember that you are a child of the Father. Realize that the Father's help is always ready and available to all his children, so that they can face anything. God will do all that is necessary for your spiritual well-being if you will let him have his way. So it's a beautiful meditation. It's full of concepts, and there's the possibility to drop past the concepts into the real essence of the moment, which is God. And but in the mind, in the thinking, we need concepts. Concepts help us to kind of pacify the mind, if you will, to, but we can drop past that as well. This is a part of the vehicle or the road to dropping past that. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may rely on God as I go through this day. Pray that I may feel deeply secure no matter what happens to me. Hey Patty, my love. So, yeah, there is the possibility to live in a knowingness, in a confidence, in a peace, because of our connection, because of our realization of who we are. So I pray for all of us for that today. So if you live in Calgary, part of my service is that I'm down at Cain's. It's a motorcycle shop on Saturdays selling tickets to support the treatment center that I work at. And it's something I'm having kind of a blast doing, enjoying. So if you're around, come and see us. I'm there from 10-ish to 3-ish. Okay. Love you guys. And yeah, that's it. Have a wonderful day. Be here now.